past few years, collective research has debunked the popular myths that a high-fiber diet lifestyle can cause unfinished housework, late dinners, and neglected family members. In fact, continuing studies show that a high-fiber diet lifestyle may significantly improve the disposition of a crafter, creating a more contented home life. Furthermore, continued exposure can develop an ability to endure meetings, waiting rooms, school functions, and sporting events without experiencing the kind of boredom it makes one want to consume lead paint. Here are just a few ways one can properly increase daily fiber intake. Visit your local yard store or shop online. Join online fiber communities. Tour sheep or alpaca farms. Attend fiber festivals. Or listen to the High Fiber Diet podcast. Please remember to spread your fiber intake throughout the day rather than trying to get it all in one shot. Stretching and resting is important, and your body will thank you.
Hi, this is Kagi, and welcome to the High Fiber Diet podcast. Oh, it's been a little bit. I'm trying to get in twice a month, so midpoint here. Happy 2026 and all that good stuff. I hope it is treating you well, and I hope you're working on all your projects. I thought I'd do something a little bit different today in that I don't have any finished objects. I have a few works in progress that I have worked on. Right here, I have set up my work in progress tree. Each one of these bags has a whip in it, and if I'm currently working on it, then I'll pull it out. But right now, I'm not going to stress over that. I have decided that going into the year of the horse, which is all about ambition and moving forward and energy, that's not what I need in my life right now. Over the course of the end of the year and the beginning of the year, I decided that my word of the year is calm. I have a lot of anxiety. I have a lot of stress at work. I have a lot of stress in the household with things going on, and I really need to focus on calm. And so the first thing I did with calm is I cleaned my office. I rearranged a little bit. New computer came in here. Work computers are over there. It used to be right here in the middle of the room so that I could see out. I've put away a lot of yarn. I've made everything into project bags so that it's organized. Did I say I'm super organized? No, probably never will be. But I think order within chaos is good, and I think that's where I need to be with my calm. Calm to me means starting the day with a good cup of tea, having a few minutes to plan my day or get it going instead of jumping up immediately and doing what needs to be done to get out the door. I work more from home than I do out, though the last couple of weeks that wasn't the truth. But I just found that my body was working on anxiety super hard over December, and then adding in the Advent, which I love Advent time. I love Advent calendars. Having the 25 days this year with Advent Sunday being November 30th, I believe that's how it went. It was just a lot of things that I put pressure on myself that I shouldn't have, and it's all my fault. So I don't know if I'm going to ever do that again. But I love doing Advent as in the family and the things that we do. But what truly gets my heart is the 12 days of Christmas. And so that starts for us Christmas Eve and moves through Epiphany. And then St. Distaff's Day the day after. So I believe it's the 7th of January is St. Distaff Day, I actually didn't get to sit down and spin, but I now have right over here, you can't see it, but I have my 2 electric spinning wheels out. I have my Pinky that I can use, and I have my Ladybug that I can use. And so I did pull out the spinning wheel one day and I was able to spin some. Not as much as I want to, but in getting the house organized, I think it will lead in, excuse me, to the calm. And the calm will lead into me being more efficient in my crafting. And that's going to lead me to be more productive without putting pressures on myself for the production. Now, I got all my Christmas knitting done, all my Christmas crocheting done. I do have one project that needs to be done by next week. And frankly, if it doesn't get done by next week, that's okay. They got married the end of November, and I technically, for etiquette purposes, have a year to get this to them. I'm trying for next Friday because I will be seeing them. This gentleman works across the state from me. We correspond almost daily, and I wanted to get him a wedding gift. And so I have begun I think it's called the Big Granny Square, and it is just going out and out and out and out and out, and then the border that's on it that goes with it, this is being made out of anti-pilling by Premier. I love the way this washes and dries, and so it's going to be easy care for them. They said their home was in neutrals, so I took this, which I believe is natural. Yes, natural pearl is the color. And I'm hoping to do 60 inches. We'll see. I have a whole bin up there full of the yarn. I had planned it for another project and then didn't like the project once I started it. So I have a ton of yarn. We'll see how big it is. But right here, I was talking about the border, and I have this around the corner crochet borders. And I haven't even flipped through yet to see, but I know that there are a lot of different borders in here that I could look at. I don't want it too lacy because I want it to be a couple cuddle blanket. One that if they, are watching a movie, they can have popcorn, it can get washed, that's no biggie, but it still keeps them warm while they're watching the movie. And I did kind of think about doing shells, so I do have another color of this yarn that I could do for one row of the border that's more of a bronzy light color brown. So it's a glistening, it's got a sheen to it. So I might do shells, but leading in that it's X's going throughout the pattern. I don't know. I'm kind of, what kind of edge do I want? And I figure it'll come to me as I continue to look at it. Could I do just a plain single crochet border? Absolutely. Do I think that's where I want to go with it? No. I think I want a little bit more. I am working that up on a size, I think it's a 4.25 G. Yeah, it's the 4.25 G. G's can be too different if you go by the letter. I think there's a 4.25 and a 4.0, but don't quote me on that. And this is an inline, no, tapered head. One of the two. It's a boy hook. There you go. It's the one I prefer. And so I've been sitting down and doing that, and it's been okay, but it gets to the point where rounds are really long, and so you do 3 rounds and you're like, okay, what can I move on to? I am not a process knitter. I am not a product knitter. I'm a or crafter, should I say, because that's crochet, but I am a does it make me happy at the time. I don't like things that make me pressured. I have been working on getting the test knit that I was supposed to have done before Christmas done. And I think it's in that bag. Let me see if I can grab it. The right bag. That is not the right bag. This is. Too many bags. So this one is by, I think it's Kadri, and it's the V-neck something, 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 something. I'll put it somewhere around in here. I don't do show notes much, but I am doing it out of Drops Air. I got back into it. I did 2 more repeats this morning. But again, it's, to me, number one, I'm looking at it and I've lost a little bit of weight. I think this is just going to swallow me. But I haven't put on the neckband, and I know that's going to bring it in. And once I bring on the shoulders, it's going, or bring on the arms, it's going to come together. And an oversized boxy look isn't that bad with a V-neck. It is knitting up nicely. I have those concerns, but I said I would do it, and I would do it in this size and see if it's accurate. And I haven't finished it. I put it away for the Christmas time. I got sick. I decided I'm not working on it. I'm a really bad test knitter, and I just need to learn to stop. I like it. I can wait for the pattern to come out. Really, I can. But I have, I'm looking. I think I have 4 more skeins to go on the body before I get into the sleeves. So this is being held in my Cozy Sky bag. This is my gnome one. I have several of her bags up here. I love her bags. And her podcast is pretty cool too. But I just figured, yeah, I'm going to show what I'm working on. This is my going into 2026, being that it is I am going to get this wrong on how to say it. I think it's the semi-cinquentennial, 250th birthday. And so it is planned pooling, and the yarn is from wow, brain dead. A Chick That Knits. Tammy from A Chick That Knits. And the blue and white is called Twinkle, and it does have sparkle in it, and it was just doing the floral of the pattern to go there. And then the white, I gotta separate these. The white is pearl, and the red is garnet. And this came as a kit 4 years ago, I think. I was still out in South Dakota when I ordered it, I think. Or it was right before I moved to South Dakota. So that would have been early 21. And this portion, I don't know if I did the little star things right, because the pattern kept saying to do it 5 times, but when I did my swatch, it only worked out to 3. And then, as you can see on some of them, it left a little bit, but from a distance, you're never going to see it. When I first started it, it looked like my yarn had pimples. Like, I do not want it to look like it has pimples, but that's where I got with it. And you're only supposed to do the I-cord edge on one side. You were supposed to do all of this in garter. I started it in garter, and I didn't like how the star came out on garter. I wanted it to pop a little bit more. So I changed it to stockinette, and now it's rolling. Of course, nature of the beast, right? So I'm going to hopefully block it out, and if it doesn't, I have enough yarn, because I only used half of this. I can do a small crochet chain on the back right along that I-cord that should make it stand out. This side is just a knit all the way across on the return row, but on the going forward row, the knit row, you knit one and knit front and back on the next stitch. So it gives a little bit of a foundation and it's not curling as much. The stripes are done segmented and there will be 13. So I am on number 6 of the stripes. And I'm halfway through because you know how podcasters do. They're never. But I figured we'd just sit here and talk for a little bit. I don't have any finished objects. Like I said, I did some spinning, but not enough to show. I've been rearranging and doing things, but I wanted to talk about, you know, plans for 2026. Even though I say I don't want anxiety, I still want to go in going, I'd like to do this and I'd like to do that. I have a lot that I need to decide, am I finishing or am I not? Some I will, some I won't. I got rid of at least half of my works in progress last year. I did end up doing a total of 77 projects last year. So some people don't say it's a project unless it's a certain amount, and no, I'm good with my count, and that's what I'm going with. I've always counted if I give something as a gift, it is a full project. So whether it be a washcloth with a bar of soap or something that I gave that way, or a coaster or a trivet, those are all single items because they were gifts. I did end up finishing up, I think I showed it last episode, all of the slippers. I got those mailed out. And some other things that I got mailed out. It was just great to get it all off my plate. But this right here is harming my calm. I know, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 17, 18, 19, and a blanket. So there's 20 works in progress right now. Yeah. And that's after I got rid of at least 20 more and I frogged them or I finished. Yeah. So I have my hot cocoa wrap that maybe I'll put in a picture here. I want to get that going. I purchased that yarn a couple of months ago, back when fall was just falling. I wanted to get it done for Christmas. Best intentions. I want to do the knit swirl. I have wanted to do this sweater since 2011. I went to Knit Away. I think she changed it. It used to be called Knit Camp, and she changed it to Knit Away. And that was back when, I don't know if you remember or you recall, or you were around back then, but Tina used to put on a retreat over in Lexington. And she was doing those a few years before I started doing Knitting in the Mitten. And I went to this retreat in 2011. Sarge was deployed. And we all tried on, I think it was Kelly. God, I haven't seen her in years. So, hi, thinking about you. Hope everything's good. Excuse me. I'm going to get a sip. I'm just drinking Diet Sprite. I know, not the best thing for me, but it's what keeps me going these days. She had done up the Winter Waves pattern from Knit Swirl. And Knit Swirl is a book. I had bought it way back then. And this is by Zoe Lonergan. I think that's how you say it, photographed by Zoe and written by Sandra MacGyver. And the Winter Waves pattern is the one that I tried on. And back then I was probably 150 pounds heavier than I am right now. And it fit me. And she said, I just did the big one. And I'm like, okay, that's what I'm going to do. I still want to do that size. And she was not even as big as I am now. So it was just, she wanted something big and cozy. And this is the pattern. It is the one that is on the back of the book. You start from the outside in, you do all the swirl parts, and then the pattern takes off in a weird way. And in some ways, I was kind of intimidated by the pattern, which why, I don't know. It's just knitting. But I was at that time, and I kept saying, I can't do it. I got to lose weight before I can make this. And in my head, I don't know why, because the sweater fit me perfectly. In fact, it fit just about everyone at that retreat, and we all wanted to make this sweater after. Well, I ended up getting 20 skeins of Stitch Please. I thought I had ordered 10. Sarge also ordered 10. So yeah, I got 20 skeins. So I have 4,400 yards of this. In order to do this, it calls for an Aran, which this says it's worsted, but looking at it, it's thicker than a normal worsted. And I'm pretty sure I can get an Aran gauge out of that. And the yardage for the largest size on this is 2,460. So I'm happy there, and I'm going to do long sleeves, and it's going to be beautiful and wonderful, and it's going to work out once I cast it on. So I have that idea. It's a plan. However, I think in my head, I want to make plans because it's the beginning of the year. You got to make plans. But my word of the year is calm. And if I make plans, that means anxiety because I'm not meeting my goals. Yeah. So that's how my crazy works. And does your crazy work that way too? I was just watching, oh, what is the name of her podcast? I forget. She is from Wales. And she was talking about the word in Welsh for hug, but it isn't a hug. It's better than a hug and more comforting than a hug. And then you have I think it's the Swedish word, is it hygge or however you pronounce that? I'm probably butchering it. And that's all about hug. And basically that's how I feel winter is. Winter is my stay inside, figure out how to make sourdough bread. That's a whole nother story. We'll get there. Surround myself with yarn, play with my kitties, and just be with my husband. And I suck as a grandma because in the winter, I don't want to go to basketball games. I don't want to drive in the snow and go to wrestling matches. I don't want to be around a bunch of sweaty teenagers, and I love my sweaty teenagers. But I've also come to the conclusion at my old age is I love my kids. Other people, sometimes not as much, but I love my kids. And does that make me a bad person? No, that just lets me know that I can do this. And in my year of calm, yeah, I'm putting myself out there. I'm doing things that are necessary to be done. I'm not hiding as a recluse, but I'm also not forcing myself to do things that I truly don't enjoy. I know what I like and what I don't like, And I need to stop people pleasing, and I need to start self pleasing. And so I learned last year during my year of reduce that it's okay to say no. It's okay to reduce the expectations from other people on what I want to do or what I am willing to do. And this year, in my year of calm, I want to be more mindful of what sets off my anxiety, what sets off and how do I put this? I'm trying to think of words here. I'm an extrovert, but I'm an introverted extrovert, so I guess that's now called an ambivert. After I extrovert so much, I have to hide and recharge. And there are times that I'm going to talk in the terms that I talk, and you guys are my people, so you're going to get it. There are times that I people too much, and when I get done with the day, just making the decision of what we're having for dinner is too much. So I am investing in myself in using the crock pot, the Instapot, meal prepping on Sundays, those kind of things, to not have to make that last decision of the day. It has gotten so bad that in order to keep my daily medication, I have, that circle AI help that you get that you don't want to say the name of because I don't want to set everybody else's off. But we can use the word computer from Star Trek when you talk to them, I have them set up so that I don't forget to take things that are a necessity because I have so much going on up here that I just can't. And there are times that just thinking about too much of an intricate pattern is too much for me. And so the lace work that I've done has been set aside. And I have 2 of these bags here have lace work on them. And color work and lace work right now are not where I am. If I want to cruise in, I pull out the spinning wheel because that's really who I am. And so hopefully this year, and I'm putting it out to the universe. I'm not making any promises, but I want to be able to talk about, I have 20 of the 24 breed study that I had started 3 years ago still to go, and I'd like to get that done. And that may come as I do the video, and then I have you guys watching the video while I talk about the breed and I talk about how I felt instead of actually videoing me while I'm talking like this. But I would like to put out videos every 2 weeks. And from the lady from Wales, her name's Lynn. Can't remember the name of her podcast, but I'm gonna get it in here somewhere. But the way she's doing hers is something that I'm going to copy, and it's, imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. So please take it as I mean it. So every other episode is going to be where I truly show what I'm working on or what I finished or things like that. Every episode I'll show you what I'm working on, but I'm not going to show you the big things and go in depth and get into spinning and all that other stuff. But at least every other, so that's 1 time a month you'll get that. And then 1 time a month you're going to get something like this where it's more in depth of talking. And it's going to depend on the time of year as to what it is. I may throw a little bit of vlogging in if I can. As you can see here, my big gift of the year was a new computer. So I'm learning how to use that. I'm on my phone right now, and hopefully I'll be able to edit on that so I can learn a little bit of that. I did editing during Vlogmas a little bit more than what I normally do, so I learned a little bit. And I'm going to take some classes on video editing and how I can get better at it. I think Craftsy has some. I think SharePoint has some. I used to belong to Craftsy. I don't know how much it is now. I still have an account, so it isn't like I can go get one of the cheap ones. But it may be a SharePoint thing. That'll work. I don't want to jump in with both feet. I still want to keep this very laid back because this is me and that's who I am. But with everything else, I kind of want to put parameters, but no promises. And I hope you're okay with that. I'd like more interaction. If you can talk to me in the comments, find me on Instagram, like and share if you like it. I'm not looking to grow this to huge, but I would like to grow it some. And I know interaction is what it takes. And yeah, let me know anything I could do better. I have thought about getting one of those mics, but then I hear everybody with the clunking and everything else on the mic, and that's not me. I have a blue ball mic that I can pull out if my voice isn't loud enough, but I've never had a time where anybody has said that my voice isn't loud enough. Just, interactive and talk to me. Let me know. As we move into the year, different things are going to come up. Different things will be seen. Sarge and I have some trips planned. And hopefully our life will change in some ways and stay the same in others. So yeah, I think that's it for this time. I think it's been about a half hour with editing. And until next time, check your checkbook before starting the high fiber diet. Bye-bye.